नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Girdhari Radha Girdhari Radhe. Jaya Radha Girdhari Radha Girdhari Radhe. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya. 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 Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Girdhari Radha Girdhari Radhe. Jaya Radha Girdhari Radha Girdhari Radhe. Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe. Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe. Jaya Radha Rasa Bihari Radha Rasa Bihari Radhe. Jaya Radha Rasa Bihari Radha Rasa Bihari Radhe. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Radha Bhakti Bihari Radha Bhakti Bihari Radhe. Jaya Radha Bhakti Bihari Radha Bhakti Bihari Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra. जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भव तुम्हें। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भव तुम्हें। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। बोलो हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी, यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatim Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistu. Welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. So we are in chapter number 15, verse number 6. Okay, so we'll recite the verses with translation and then we'll discuss each verse followed by Mangalacharna. Chapter 15, sloka number 5. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosa adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama द्वन्द्वैर् विमुक्ता सुख दुख संगे गच्छन्ति यमूढ़ा padam abhyayam tatum. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. Verse number 6. Na tadbhasayate suryo na sasango na pavakaha yajgatva na nivartante tadadham paramam namam. The supreme abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. So those who reach it never return to this material world. Verse number 7. Mamaevanso jiva loke jiva bhutah sanatana manah sasthana indriyani prakritisthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which include the mind. Verse number 8. Sariram yadavapnoti yachapi utkramat ishvaraha grihitvaitani samyati vayurgandhani vashayat. The living entity in this material world carries his different conception of life from one body to another. As the air carries aromas, thus he takes one kind of body and again quits to take another. Verse number 9. Shrotram chakshua sparasanam cha rasanam ghranam eva cha adhishtaya manasyayam vishayana upasevate. The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. Verse number 10. Utkramantam isthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudhananupashyanti pashyanti jnana chakshusah. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all faith. But उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. Verse number 11. Yatanto yoginasyainam पश्यन्ति आत्मनि अवस्थितं यथन्तोपि अकृतेत्मानो नैनं पश्यन्ति अचेतसः. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly, but those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to. Verse number 12. Yad adityagatam tejo jagat bhasayate khilam yat chandramasi yat chagno tat tejo vidhi pamakam. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of fire are also from me. Verse number 13. गामाविश्य च भूतानि धार्म्यमि अहम् ओजसा पुष्णामि चौषधी सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः. I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. Verse number 14. Aham vaishvanaro bhutva प्राणिनाम देहम आश्रितः प्राणापान समायुक्तः पचामि अन्नम चतुर्विधम. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff. Verse number 15. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि संविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानम् अपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहम् एव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद् वेदविद एव चाहम्. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedant, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Verse number 16. Dva imo purusho loke charaschakshar eva cha charah sarvani bhutani kutastokshara uchyate. There are two classes of beings, the fallible and infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamcha cha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण, Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. So we are in chapter number 15, verse number 6. So we'll revise first what we have seen in verse number 5, then we'll discuss verse number 6. So in verse number 5, we have seen about verse number 5 talks about Nirmana Jita Sanga Dosa Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kama Dvandvair Vimukta Sukha Dukha Sangye Gacchanti Amudha Padam Abhayam Tata. So those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who unbewildered know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. So Lord Krishna is explaining Arjuna over here that Nirmana Moha Jitta Sanga Dosa. So Krishna is saying the one who is free from false prestige, Moha, freedom from illusion, Jitta Sanga Dosha, freedom from false associations, Adhyatma Nitya, understand the eternal, Dvandvair Vimukta, freedom from dualities, Vinivritta Kamaha Amudha, done with material lust and unbewildered. So Lord Krishna is telling that these are the qualities if one has will be able to surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna. Okay, so these are the few qualities. And what is the first qualification? Conditioned fool is puffed up, think himself to the Lord. Everyone thinks that I am Lord. I am Lord of so and so property. I am Lord of car. I am Lord of bungalow. I am Lord of so many things. I am Lord of my wife, my children, my daughter. I am Lord of everyone. So this lording qualities is there in Krishna. From there we have got this lording qualities. But Lord Krishna is the Lord of everything. Every universe, every living entity, non-living entity. So everything belongs to Krishna. Whereas in this material world, we think that we are Lord of some particular temporary objects. So Lord is Lord. Lord is only one. That is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that kind of false prestige or pride is there that I am Lord of so and so things. So what is the solution? Cultivate knowledge to know that I am the Lord, but servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the ultimate Lord is Supreme Lord, Krishna. So there should not be any pride. So when you surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna, pride goes away. Okay? Because nothing belongs to you. So what is the thing to pride on. So one is proud of certain object, my wife, my daughter, my son, my car, my bungalow, my land, and so on and so many things. So you are attaching yourself to the material object. Okay, so why this pride comes? This pride comes because of illusion. Okay, what is the illusion? Illusion means what? Illusion is Maya. Ma means ya, ya means this. Okay, this is not. So whatever is not Krishna is Maya. If something says that I don't belong to Krishna, it is Maya. Okay, the entire world is under false impression of created divisions of false proprietorship. Okay, so everyone thinks that this particular property belongs to me, this particular land belongs to me, this particular amount, wealth belongs to me. Okay, so that attachment becomes the cause of illusion. And because of this illusion comes pride. Okay, so, and the next quality is freedom from false associations. Okay, so if you are in false association, false proprietorship will automatically come. And false associations are typically caused by familial, social, national affection. Okay, so one should adhyatma nitya, understand the eternal. Nitya means eternal. The thing which is forever is called eternal, nitya. So one should develop knowledge. Why? One should develop spiritual knowledge. Why spiritual knowledge? Because spiritual knowledge is nitya. It is eternal. It is forever. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. That's why soul and super soul both are eternal. Soul, the objective of this human life is establish the relationship between soul and super soul, living entity and Supreme Lord Krishna. So there is a need, one should understand what is Supreme Lord Krishna. One should have developed the knowledge about Krishna. Dvandvera vimuktaha. One should be free from dualities. Okay, sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are unhappy, sometimes you get profit, sometimes you get loss. So these are all dualities. So your thinking should be like that whatever comes, it is according to God and you should accept it. Then you will be free from false dualities. Vinivritta kamaha amudaha means what? Here, done with material lust and unbewildered. Unbewildered means when one becomes full in knowledge, it is possible to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so if you are bewildered, you are in Maya, and if you are unbewildered, you are in Golok Vrindavan Dham. You are in Adhyatma Lok. You are with Krishna. You are close to Krishna. So whatever is Maya is not Krishna, and whatever is not Krishna is Maya. That is verse number 5. We'll see verse number 6 to 11. That is about transmigration. So what is our ultimate aim in this material world? Our ultimate aim in this material world to understand who are you and what is God. These are the two questions. Who are you? Your body or soul? And what is Krishna? Know about Krishna's incarnations and know about Krishna's activities. So Krishna's incarnation and Krishna's activities are all eternal. So if you know this, you are already in samadhi. You are already in transcendental knowledge. Everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. But because of some XYZ reason, materialistic benefit, they are suffering in this material world. And two, and they have got enjoying propensity. Why? Because this enjoying propensity is there in Lord. So from there we have got enjoying propensity. So we are transmigrating because of this enjoying propensity. I want to eat lot of meat. I want to eat so and so. I want a handsome boy. I want a handsome girl. So these are all material hankering. These are all material hankering. And because of, if you're not, because of some XYZ reason, you are not fulfilled, you're not able to fulfill your dream in this life. So this goes to the next life. Okay, like aromas, air carries aromas. Similarly, subtle body carries the misconceptions, carries the whatever misconceptions are there in the next life. So if you want to enjoy lot of meat and you're, because of some XYZ reason, you are not able to satisfy your senses, so this unsatisfied senses are carried in the next life through the transmigration. Okay, although the transcendentalist sees it clearly, the foolish who have no knowledge about Krishna, how the living entity creates his body and obtains a new body based on his new desire. So based on your desire, you get the next body. So it is your previous karma only that you are sitting here, you are listening the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Krishna Leela about Krishna. So it is your fortune. You have done some punya in your last life, and because of that punya, you are sitting here and you are able to read, hear about Bhagavad Gita. Verse number 6. Na tadbhasayate suryo na sasanko na pavakah yajagatva na nivartante tadadham paramam mama. The supreme abode of this of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. Okay, so Golok Vrindavan Dham, Lord Krishna is telling about his own abode. Lord Krishna is saying that mine abode is not illumined by sun, moon, fire, or electricity. Okay, so, and the one who reaches somehow in the Golok Vrindavan Dham never comes back to this material world. So here Lord Krishna is explaining characteristics of supreme abode. Tad dham paramam mama. So Krishna is telling that my dham is not illuminated by sun, moon, fire, or electricity. And the one who goes there to that spiritual world never comes back. Okay, if you worship sun god, you are migrated to sun planet. If you worship moon god, you are migrated to moon god. So if you worship Indra, you will go to Indra Lok. Okay, if you worship Lord Ganesha, you will go to Ganesh Lok. Okay, likewise, there are different demigods, different benefits, different planets. Whatever you worship, you will go there because your consciousness builds accordingly. So whatever you think, your next body is transmigrated accordingly. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, what is the spiritual world? Adhyatmalok, how it looks like. Okay, so in Adhyatmalok, Krishna resides. It's a personal abode of Krishna, and all the associates of Krishna reside there. And Krishna is the reservoir of 6 opulences, Shad Aishwarya. Krishna is the Swami of Shad Aishwarya. Why there is no need of any light? Why? Because all planets are self-luminous. and their shining effulgence is called Brahma Jyoti. And this Brahma Jyoti comes out from the Krishna's body. So Krishna's body is effulgence, and this Brahma Jyoti comes from this effulgence. Okay, from Krishna's planet, effulgence comes out. That is Golok Vrindavan Dham. And 1/4 of the spiritual sky is covered by Mahat Tattva, which constitute the material world. So this Mahat Tattva constitute the material world. In the material world, there is only the self-illuminous planet, that is Sun. Sun is the self-illuminous planet. But in the Krishna's Golok Vrindavan Dham, it is self-illuminated, doesn't require any sun. Here we have sun. Okay, because of this sun, we can see everywhere the light. If Krishna is not there in the spiritual world, from where this light will come out? Okay, so Krishna is saying that this is my abode, and this is the self-illuminous. So why the knowledge about Krishna is required by ignorant people? The people, those who are living in this material world, they are ignorant. Okay, so here it is said, or in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, he says that when one hears about Krishna, Krishna enters through the ear into the heart. Okay, so if Krishna is self-illuminated, or Krishna's abode is self-illuminated, so it is a light which comes in the heart. So when Krishna enters in the heart is illuminated by that, by the Krishna's presence. Okay, so when you are in material world is the perverted reflection of spiritual world. So whatever is there in material world is also there in the spiritual world. If we can see in the material world, if we say then the material world is a reflection, means reflection comes from some particular original object. If the original object is not there, reflection is not possible. So if reflection is there, it means original object exists. So original object exists in spiritual world. Okay, and we can see in the material world perverted reflection of spiritual world. Okay, so Krishna is saying that you have to develop, cultivate knowledge. You have to know about Krishna's pastimes and transcendental activities. Okay, so that kind of knowledge is known as transcendental knowledge. So this transcendental knowledge is able to cut the ignorance. What is the importance of Paramam Mama? Paramam Mama is the spiritual world, abode of Krishna. So every nook and corner is the Lord's property. It is said that without permission of God, not even a blade of grass moves. So it is abode, Krishna's abode is known as Paramam Mama. It means what? Full of all six opulence. Everything is there. Everything is there. So reference on spiritual world in Katha Upanishad, it is said that the whole spiritual sky is illuminated by internal potency. So because of this internal potency illumination, we don't need any sun, moon, or fire, electricity in the spiritual world. So this is the rightly mentioned in the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Now in purport, Srila Prabhupada says about living entity. What is a living entity? So there are two stages of living entities. One is the conditional stage. So living entity exists in the material world. They enjoy, they try to satisfy their sense gratification, but it is never fulfilled. In the material world, living entity think that I am the lord of so and so object. Okay, and another stage is liberated stage. How they reach to the liberation? By reaching to the abode of Krishna. How can they reach there? By cutting the ignorance by transcendental knowledge. Okay, they worship Krishna. They collect all information. They hear all information about Krishna. And in the liberated state, they become associate of the Lord. And once who goes to the abode of Krishna, Golok Vrindavan Dham, never comes back. If you worship Indralok and by doing some sacrifices, austerity, somehow you manage to reach to Indralok. But after enjoying 1000 years, and depends on your karma, depends on your punya, goodness, you will again you will be thrown to this material world. After enjoying 1000 years, again you will be back in the material world. So this is the difference between worshipping Krishna and demigod. So a particular demigod is worshipped, the particular living entity is sent to that particular planet. Okay, if a particular living entity worship Krishna, they are sent to the Krishna Lok, Golok Vrindavan Dham. Okay, so how Krishna consciousness is helpful? Krishna consciousness is helpful in developing a gradual detachment. Okay, and Krishna consciousness is the only weapon which is used to detach from this material world. Not only but just wearing saffron clothes, wandering here and there, you are a liberated stage. No, by developing the real Krishna consciousness, by worshipping, by following Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, you can develop Krishna consciousness. Okay, and that is known as serious devotional service. The serious devotional service means actually following in the footsteps of Acharyas. Acharyas, those who belong to the particular parampara, disciplic succession. Okay, how you can work in Krishna consciousness? Associate with Krishna's devotees, search and out of such a society, learn devotional service by visiting temple, by doing seva, by donation, by distributing prasadam, by serving Krishna, directly, indirectly serving Guru, Acharyas, hearing Krishna Katha, Krishna Leela, reading Bhagavad Geeta, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya, so many literature Srila Prabhupada has written. You can read. Srila Prabhupada says that I am in my book. I'm not leaving this world. I am in my book. So if you read my book, I am there. So this is the statement of Srila Prabhupada. So you have to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, listen and hear. Okay. So in this way you can work in Krishna consciousness. So the only transcendental method is devotional service. So chapter number 14 describes the contamination of all kinds of process by material nature. Only devotional service is purely transcendental. So devotional service is pure. Verse number 7. Mamaivanso jiva loke jiva bhutah sanatana manah sasthana indriyani prakrisithani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Okay, so Mamaevanshi Jiva Loke. Lord Krishna is himself saying that all the living entities are my part and parcel. Okay, because of this conditioned life, they are suffering in this material world with the six senses. which include the mind. Because of these six senses, they are not able to come out of this material world. They want to eat something, they have got eating habit. This is a sense. This is the effect of sense. They want to go movie, mall, and all. This is the eyesight. You're using your eyes at the wrong place. Okay, going to the material picnic here and there, you're using your leg and hand in the wrong direction. Okay, so in Bhagavad Gita, it is said you have to use all your limbs in Krishna's service. Why? Because if you are different from Krishna, you are in Maya. Although you are part and parcel of Krishna. So we have got, we are very, very fortunate that we have got this human body. In this human body, we can revive the relationship between Krishna. We can understand what is the relationship between Krishna and living entity. So we are all belong to Krishna. The entire living entities belong to Krishna. It is like if you have hand and your hand is separated from this body, it is useless. But if the hand is there in this body, we can utilize this for the service of body. So same hand we have to utilize for the service of Krishna also. Why? Because we, the living entity, entirely belongs to Krishna. Mamaevanshe, mamaevansho jiva loke. Every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. So why the living entities are struggling in this material world? Because they have got an enjoying propensity. They want to satisfy their six senses. Eye, ear, nose. So these are all the Shadendriya. So six senses. So everyone is running behind to satisfy the six senses, which is never possible. And senses never satisfied. It is like if there is fire burning, and if you put petrol in that, the fire will increase. So you have got fire inside. You have got enjoying propensity. You are already in this material world. And if you want to satisfy your senses, the senses will increase more. They will demand more. Okay. So this is the verse number 7. So verse number 7 says, what is the identity of living entity? Okay. So identity of living entity is Sanatan. Okay. Sanatan means you have to attach yourself with Krishna. So Krishna is the establisher of Sanatan Dharma. Krishna is the establisher of Varnashram Dharma. So this Varnashram Dharma is the ladder by using which you can reach to Krishna. Okay, so Mayavadi says that living entities are alone. They don't belong to Krishna. Okay, so every living entity belongs to Krishna. Okay, so as there are different manifestations of Krishna, the primary or personal expansion, like Vishnu Tattva, Rama, Nrsimha. As secondary separated living entities, eternal service. Okay, so living entities are also expansions of Krishna only, but they are eternal servants. Okay, all the expansions are transcendental, always present as separate identities, even the living entities. So living entities are also expansions of Krishna. Rama, Nrsimha, Krishna, they are also expansions of Krishna. So all these living entities always are individual. So what are the qualities of living entities? So, living entities are fragmental part of Krishna. Krishna is independent. So, we have got that independency quality from Krishna only. So, Krishna is independent, but we are minute independent. We have got minute, very, very minute form of independence. So, if you use this independency in Krishna's service, you will be liberated. If you misuse means forget the serving Lord, then what will happen? Gets dominated by the modes of material nature, and thus gets condition and hard struggle for existence in this material. So we have got independence, but in very minute quantity. So this minute quantity you have to utilize in the devotional service. You will be liberated. If you don't use this minute independence, what will happen? You will be entangled in this material world, in the material things, and will be always struggling to come out of that. Importance of karushati, struggling or grappling hard. So what is the main problem of living entities? False ego. This is the main cause of struggle. Okay, so this ego is like bound by iron chains. So this iron chain is ego. So in this material world, we are because of ego. We are struggling because of ego. And what is the chief driver? Mind. Mind is the main object which is driving the living entities. Because of this mind, and mind is very flickering, never stops. Because of this mind, we are suffering. So if your mind is in good mode, you work in goodness. If mind is in passionate mode, activities are troublesome. And if mind is in ignorance, one travels to lower spaces. So this is called karshati, struggling or grappling hard. Achieving a spiritual body after liberation. So this living entity, conditioned soul, is covered by material body. And if they are liberated, they will get spiritual body. And a reference is in Madhyane Shruti. In a spiritual world, one gets spiritual body and can talk and hear with Supreme Lord face to face. Example, reference, Smriti. One lives in the same bodily features as Supreme Personality of Godhead. An expansion of Vishnu Murti. Mamaevanshaha. Mamaevansha means fragmental part and parcel of Supreme Lord. So this is called as eternally fragment, Sanatan. Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2, verse number 24 explains the spirit soul cannot be cut into pieces. Verse number 13 says, indicates that each and every body, a separate fragmental portion is present. In every body, for a separate fragmental portion is present. Verse number 8, process of transmigration. How one is transmigrated from one body to another. Sariram yadvapnoti yachapi utkramat ishwarah grihitvaitani samyati vayurgandhani vashayat. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another. as the air carries aromas. Thus he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. Okay? Like air carries aromas. Living entities also carries their misconceptions in the next body. So in this particular verse, process of transmigration is explained. Okay, so the living entity acquires a material mind and carries different conceptions of life from one body to the next. Like air carries the aromas from one place to another place. Similarly, living entity carries the conceptions, different conceptions from one body to another. So here, Ishvara. Ishvara means what? Refers to living entity as the controller of the body. So, living entity is Ishvara of this particular body. Ishvara means controller. So, living entity, it is the controller of this body. Okay. So, living entity can decide whether they want to go higher body or lower body. Okay. Higher grade or lower grade. So, accordingly, they can do karma. They do the lower class activity, low class activity, they will be degraded to the low grade. And if they perform high grade activity, they work in goodness mode and they perform lot of austerities, punya, so they will be promoted to the higher grade, higher planet. So this indicates the minute independence. So what, and it is in the person is called intelligent if he or she uses this minute independence for the service of Krishna. Okay, so and change depends on his consciousness at the time of death. If you have got godly qualities, transferred to demigods. If your consciousness is like cat and dog, you will be transferred to similar bodies. And if your consciousness is Krishna consciousness, you will be transferred to the Golok Vrindavan Dham. What is the meaning of karshati? Karshat means struggle. Okay, so struggling from one body to another body. And analogy refutes the following argument. It is false claim that after annihilation of body, everything is finished. It is false claim. Present body and present activities are background of the next body. So if you are doing good, next body will be good. If you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, serving Krishna, you will be transferred to back home, back to Godhead. Golok Vrindavan Dham. Krishna's abode. Okay. So on the basis of karma, subtle body carries the conceptions. So subtle body carries the conceptions. Okay, so we'll stop over here. Any doubt you can ask, any question? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण।